that we are still looking for a sub, and then I highlighted it in yellow. So if you are free and you are subbing and you want to take it, just go ahead and write your name on it. And then everybody should have the correct red folders if you are junior high, high school, and green folders if you're elementary school. And Mark and I are going to be going through it all.
All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. There is a copy of the agenda in the folder. For me, it was on the left-hand side of it.
Yep, we tried to put everything in the same order, but bear with us. It's nice and colorful. Can't miss it.
I know most people here. My name is Mark Swagel. I'm Director of Curriculum at Rossford Schools. Jeff Taylor, Principal, is playing bus duty still. He'll be here any minute. Dawn might be as well. Dawn Heck, the Assistant Principal.
Yep, I'm Taylor Sickler. I am from...
Sam from CLC, call the office. Sam from CLC, call the front office, please.
I am from CLC. I am still a Bulldog though. I used to do Rossford Elementary School Stars back when we were at Eagle Point. I've been around for 5.5 years. And then I also took over Intervention and Stars, and then I moved into the office. And now I am a supervisor, and now I'm also solely in charge of intervention as well. So I noticed most of you guys.
Oh, you look amazing, Evelyn.
Thank you. I wore my Rossford red for you guys today. Kelly, over there in the back.
I'm Kelly Dooling. I was here at Rossford at the STARS program for about 2 years. Sometime last fall, I moved to the office. I'm now a program associate. So I'm partnering with Taylor with intervention. So you'll see me in and out throughout the summer. And even though I started life as an AMU in general, I am now a Bulldog.
Caitlin.
And I started here in February, and I was in charge of Canine Crew, and I'll be taking over for Summer Academy.
Stand up. We have people in the front who can't see you. There you go. Wave, twirl. Morgan.
Hi, my name is Morgan Hollingsworth. I am the program administrator with CLC. All those emails from me, so thank you, and I'm sorry, but I have to. So I started off as a site coordinator, site supervisor at North Baltimore in September, and then moved into the office as the administrative support specialist and now program admin. So I'm very excited to be here. I'm very excited to assist with intervention, and I look forward to the summer.
In the back of your guys' orientation packet, it does have all of our content or our names and information in there, kind of like what we're in charge of. So Caitlin is the friendly face that you will see on a daily basis for your go-to, easy programmatic questions. Morgan is the person who does all of the timesheets and new hire paperwork and things like that, and she'll give the spiel, and then I kind of just oversee everything. So if you have a question you don't know who to go to, that should help you a little bit. Okay. Yep, that's fine. You'll hear me a lot today. All right, so the first thing is the parent packet. We're just gonna go through the folder just a little bit here. I try to give you guys as much information as possible. Inside, everybody has a kind of basic overview of the schedule of what we're doing. The first sheet is just a simple version, where you're going, what time things are, and then the second one is more of details. Where you need to be, what time, and why. So let me just explain Summer Academy for a hot second for people who have never seen it. Keep in mind, when I explain Summer Academy, it is way different than the junior high and high school program, which I'll talk about in a second. So if you have a red folder, you do not have this in your folder. Just a heads up, don't get confused. The Summer Academy is 2 sessions, session A, session B. They are both 4 weeks long, Monday through Thursday, starting on June 3rd. We take a break the week of 4th of July, and then we resume right back up again. I think it's July 8th. Every Thursday, we have enrichment guests, which are also in your folder that we will go over. And that's kind of like a fun afternoon for the kids. This year, we have Imagination Station. We have this dog group coming to let the kids play with dogs. We have Magic of Eli coming. And who's our other one?
WVGU PBS is bringing like this giant inflatable whale thing that they can take kids and read books, and then Nature's Nursery is coming on weeks.
Yep. So every Thursday afternoon, afternoon, we're gonna hype up the kids for their special enrichment guests because they're going to work so hard with you guys Monday through Thursday in the morning. So kind of a little bit about the programmatic aspect during the day. So drop-off is at 9. Parents got to choose if they are doing CLC, which they have to pay for, busing, which is free, or parent pickup. So when they filled out their forms, they chose, and we have it on our attendance list, what one they picked. Buses and students will start to arrive between 8:45 and 9 o'clock. Closer to 9, the better. We are going to get all the kids out of the parents' vehicles and all of the buses unloaded, and they are all going to come into the gymnasium. From there, we would like you guys to be there around 8:45, 8:50 to try to help with all the flow of children. So you guys are aware, we only have 2 CLC staff members who are actually in that early because the morning is more for the teachers. So CLC-wise, it only will be Caitlin and a helper. So one will be doing bus duty, one will be doing parent pickup, and that's kind of why we asked you guys to be there around 8:45 in the gym, 8:50 to help herd the cattle, so to speak. So just kind of be prepared for that. That first day, you want to get there just a smidge early, just because I'm sure parents will also be dropping off a little early. We try not to actually unload the vehicles until it's actually time because it just creates more chaos. From there, we will have signs on the ground. All the kids will start lining up in their appropriate grade levels. We'll also have little signs for you guys to hold as well, what classroom you guys are in charge of. Once we think we have the majority of our kids, we will have designated lanyards for them. They will all be color-coded based off of if they're getting on a city bus, a town bus, going to STARS, or going to parent pickup. From there, you're going to use those lanyards as like your attendance. You're going to know who is there for the day and who is not there. Because you're going to turn in the kids who did not show up back to Caitlin Kendall, and that's her sign to know, oh, Jimmy and Johnny didn't show up today, because now she has the lanyards, okay? From there, you guys are going to collect your kids, say hello, and you're going to exit out into the gym, and breakfast will be waiting for them. This year, it's a little different. It is Connecting Kids to Meals, which is a free service by a place in Toledo. They are going to be serving our kids breakfast and lunch, so it is going to be different from last year, so just a heads up. If you've been around for 3 years, 2 or 3 years, that's what it was before. There'll be milk ready, and a fruit ready, and a grain ready. They will get to grab their items, we're trying to get it confirmed, and walk up to the classroom. So you guys are going to hit the breakfast station before you go up. Once you go up to your classroom, they're all yours, okay? So from there, that's your academic time. They will have to eat, okay, and that first like 15, 20 minutes. So
Bus
be aware of
21
that.
is here,
That is
bus 21 is here.
You've got about 75 minutes for your reading portion, and Mark, when he talks, he'll go over all the curriculum in way more details. Then we gave you guys a little stretch break, use the restroom. I highly suggest though, watching past years, don't all go to the same restroom at the same exact time. Just a heads up. Or you might be waiting around for a while. Then from there, you'll dive into the math portion. I'm pretty sure it's up to you guys what way you want to flip-flop it and how you want to do it, but you do see your times there.
Mr. Taylor, bus 21 is here. Mr. Taylor, bus 21 is here.
From then, you guys are going to...
Isaiah Walton needs to come to the office. Isaiah Walton needs to come to the office.
From there, you guys are going to wrap up with the academic portion, and you guys are going to clean up the classroom and take all of your kids back to the gym. From there, you will hand over your classroom to our CLC program assistants, okay? We have 4 of them and some extra hands. They are going to take the kiddos from you. This is a really good time for you to update them about how behaviors were that morning, okay? So if you have any type of discipline forms, incident forms, concern forms, anything like that, you would hand it off to that program assistant and you would tell them, hey, Jimmy, by the way, he had an accident today, okay? We already changed his clothes, but just a heads up in case he has another one. Or it's, hey, Johnny fell down, scraped his knee, I gave him a Band-Aid, but it happened here. Or it could be, hey, Rachel had 3 meltdowns today, just a heads up, pre-warning, okay?
None of the kids leave at 12:30. If they sign up, all are here until the end of the day.
So there is, I think, 2 to 3 kids with paras who will not be joining us for the afternoon. Yep, we are still working out those details, but if their para couldn't stay for the afternoon, then their student had to get picked up at noon by the parent.
So no busing.
No busing. Buses will not return until the afternoon. So if a parent has a para, that will be their responsibility to come back and get them. Yep. Then from there, so you're gonna communicate with your staff, and then that's your time to either go back to your room, clean it up if you need to. Pre-warning from past experiences, don't let your kids dump cereal and clog your classroom drinks. Then you will take your trash and you will set it in the hallway before you leave. That way, the custodians can collect it at the end of the day. And you are free to leave. If you want to prep for the next day or anything like that, that's totally up to you. But from there, you're good to go, and we will see you the next day. Does the morning section make sense for elementary? Any questions? Okay, perfect. And you'll do that every single day for 4 weeks. Okay. In the afternoon, I won't go over it in too much detail, but basically we take the kids outside, they get to play, we bring them back inside, they get a free hot lunch every single day, which is very nice. And then from there, they are going to be doing STEM activities and SEL activities Monday through Wednesday, and then on Thursday they have their enrichment guest. If you want details of what STEM activities and SEL activities they are doing, it is in your guys' green folders in like a calendar form. Okay? High school and junior high is way more simpler, and this one will take me 2 seconds. The kids get there in the morning between 8:30 and 9. And we will have her name is McKenna Ray. Unfortunately, she is sick with the flu today. She will be unloading all the kids off of the buses or the parent pickup line and checking them in, making sure they're getting to their assigned classroom. They will pass out breakfast. They will eat breakfast in their classroom. And then they are all yours until the end of the day. The only difference is that if you have some type of behavior concern, discipline report, something that you cannot handle, you will buzz McKenna to come assist you. If she needs to pull that kid out, if she needs to call a parent for home because maybe they're refusing to do their work or anything like that, that's where she would step in and say, hey, Kenzie, you're going home today, okay, at that point. Other than that, your day is a lot more simple. And this year, unlike last year, they're not doing anything in the afternoon. There's no enrichment guests or anything like that. Anything that I missed about Beyond the Bell?
You mean summer academy?
Or junior high school? Yeah.
Kids should still be arriving between 8:45 and 9, I believe.
Yes, for the elementary. Yep.
For junior high and high school too.
Yes.
You said 8:30 and 9?
I can't remember what I said.
I think we asked teachers to be there by 8:30.
Yes.
Or like,
Yes, and then the kids will arrive between 8:45 and 9. Correct.
And most of the teachers who are doing junior high and high school, I still haven't received a video link from Monday's training where they went over some of the courseware stuff. Classes have been added to Power School, but it sounds like there's some mistakes on which kids were assigned to what teachers and that kind of stuff. So I will go back and work with the counselors and Pam and Edmonton if need be to get that all fixed. But
Awesome.
that's being worked on. But
The next paper that you guys have is just dates, hanging on your fridge, hanging in your classroom, just important things. The next one is contact information. If you are junior high, high school, you do have a different sheet, obviously, because we have 2 different people for them. But emails, phone numbers, that kind of thing. And then the parent packet is what we send to all of our parents. It has all the details about Summer Academy or the junior high Summer Academy Credit Recovery Program. I would read through that for your first day. We talk to them about don't bring money, don't bring electronics, don't bring toys, that kind of thing. Inside the packet, it does tell them where to pick up, where to drop off. It does tell them special dates, what they're going to be doing, and then a sunscreen medical form. So the kids will only be outside for 30 minutes. But for some reason, if it is a very fair-skinned kiddo and mom thinks that he needs to get sunscreened every single day for that 30 minutes, they will fill out one of these forms and turn it back in. If you happen to get this sunscreen form or a med form, please give it to Caitlin Kemble right away because there's a lot of stuff we have to do with it, okay? Typically, we only get like 1. if we're lucky. I mean, it's pretty simple, so you probably won't see it. And then the last page, it talks about how food works here. Okay? So that's the information for the parents. And then this is that fancy sheet that goes through all the fun enrichment guests and all the things that they're going to be doing, all the STEM activities, SEL activities. It also has these little codes, because I thought it would be helpful this year. When to turn in your timesheet, which we will go over. It is a little clock and timesheet, and when you're actually going to get paid. Okay? So this might be helpful as well. Okay, last things on my list is you guys all have, no matter what color folder, attendance rosters for session A and session B. Junior high, high school, we say session A and session B, but really it flows into one. When they're done with their credits, they are done. Right? Yes. There may be a few tweaks to this, so bear with us. We are officially cutting it off tomorrow. There was 3 parents for the junior high, high school program who reached out, who are trying to get their kids in. I told them they had to do it by 6 o'clock tonight. And then there's 2 other parents for the elementary school who are trying to switch to session B. So these are, I'm going to say 99% good to go, but if you're making anything for your classroom, just pre-warning, there may be still 1 or 2 changes to it. And I will send you guys everything. The last sheet on my end is kind of like a fancy little map here. It tells you what room you guys are in, how many kids you guys have, who's your other teacher who's working the session with you. And like I said, Devin, you're that red box. So. Sorry about that.
Well, Margot is, and Devin is going to be between Steve, Brianna, and just kind of as the.
Okay, everybody's floating around between them.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Cool. I'll send you the new one. And the last one is, this year we are going to mark when you turn in your timesheets. To make sure that you guys all turn them in, you know when to turn them in, and to make sure you get paid for them. Morgan is going to be going over them in more detail, but if you see a mistake on this, please let me know, like if you're missing your name or something like that. I have on here the blues and the greens are the elementary, the reds and the oranges are the high school. It says your name, your grade, and then a box for me to make sure that you turn in your timesheet. Below that box, it says what day you're actually getting paid for that time period. So there's session A and session B, so that way you guys know, don't forget to turn in your timesheets. Caitlin Kendall will also give you plenty of reminders to make sure you do it as well. You can hand deliver them straight to her on that Friday. Any questions about that?
Don't bring that on it, we're supposed to let you know.
What was that?
If you bring that on it, we're supposed to let you know.
Yes. If you're, for some reason, like
I'm not on it.
or if you're subbing and you need to be on that section, okay? Just come see me.
What if there's a classroom discrepancy?
Like you don't have the right classroom listed under your name,
Right, like the room number is not correct.
then tell me. Actually, can you tell me right now, and can someone write that down? What classroom is it supposed to be?
So, for Martha and Rob, it lists us as 121 and 122, and, it's 116 and 118.
Is this at the junior high or here?
Yeah, junior high, high school.
Junior high. So the correct rooms are 116 and 118.
Yes.
But then you have the third one, yeah, then you have to fix the other one, the red one says 116.
Who assigned rooms for them?
Pam, like we used the same ones as last year, and Pam emailed them. So
Yeah, and that's the one I used.
Yeah, there must have been a.
Yeah.
We
can double check with Pam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm not being there, I can't visualize.
Yeah, because if you're saying she's taking your room if that's the case.
Right.
Yes. Okay. All right. We'll figure it out. Perfect. Okay, Mark, curriculum.
Okay, I'm going to talk just real quick about kind of the curriculum piece and the schedule piece a little bit. So if you are teaching incoming kindergarten, raise your hand. I shared links with you yesterday to this. There were a few mistakes I found like as I was reviewing them today, so I already made some updates. But basically, in other grades, we're going to get this in a second. At the top, I tried to explain it a little bit, but basically, because we're making this huge adjustment to the science of reading and what it's trying to teach us as teachers, is that we have to get more intentional about how and what we're teaching at all times of the year. So summer is considered intervention. So I don't panic that you don't see like an official recess in the morning anymore. I obviously still take stretches and brain breaks and all that kind of good stuff, but I am asking that you don't go outside for like a half an hour or 45-minute recess, because they're getting a lot of that in the afternoon. They're going to get, they get recess, they're getting their lunch, they're getting enrichment activities, STEM, and all that kind of stuff. They're here for intervention purposes. They're on a RIMP most likely, which is a reading improvement plan. We have a lot of third graders who haven't had the third grade reading guarantee yet. So we're kind of basically buckling down a little bit with kind of how we're providing the intervention. But don't feel like you're like, oh, I have a 90-minute block for ELA. I don't expect it to be 90 solid minutes of ELA. Like, hey, between phonics instruction and going to lit camp stuff, yeah, take a quick little break, use the restroom if you need to, if kids are getting that fidgety. That's where you guys come into play. Please use your professional judgment. Going into kindergarten, we have some Heggerty, which is phonemic awareness. There's Lit Camp Yellow. And then they're not here yet, just so you know. We did order some math workbooks of like going into kindergarten. They were actually hard to find, believe it or not, for kids that age that made sense. So those should be here next week. So I'll email you to let you know when they arrive. For the math piece, sorry. Okay. First grade, if you're teaching kids going into first grade, raise your hand. Okay. Again, you're going to see Heggerty, and then a program that some of you, depending on what grade you taught last year, you might have experience with it. It's called Ready to Rise for first graders. Basically, it's a phonics program. It's foundations based. And there's a little breakdown there for you as far as how it works. And again, math you're doing. So just so you know, math, I don't know if this is the first or second year we've done this with math based on your feedback. If kids are going into first grade for just in general, they're still doing like a kindergarten math review because they were behind. So the intervention, so you might see like, when you go out in the hall a little bit and you start looking at materials if you want to today, and you're teaching first grade, you're going to see math stuff for kindergarten. So ELA is that grade level, the math is 1 year behind. So when you go out there, don't be confused by, wait, why is the wrong grade level of math books in my section? That's on purpose. And it confuses me a lot, as Price can vouch, to keep in my head that it's always 1 year behind. She's helped me with some stuff, and I always get confused. Going into second grade, raise your hand if you're teaching that. Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, sorry. Kind of the same thing. Heggerty, again, there's some Ready to Rise, which is phonics instruction, and math. So it'll make more sense if you've never helped us in the summer, or at least in the last year or two. There's teacher guides to help you through all of that. And I'm here to answer questions. Going into third grade. Yeah, first or second session. Again, there's still Heggerty for kids that are going into third grade, which is that real quick phonemic awareness review. I forgot to mention I do have some links there, so if you get to the live document, there's videos. So some of you might go, I've never done Heggerty. There's actually some videos, it's really simple. It might feel weird at first to try to teach it, but I promise it's not too bad. And then there's Lit Camp Turquoise, so that's just an almost classroom program.
Mark,
Yes?
I'm so glad.
The teacher guide, it comes with a special teacher one for summer because they picked out certain lessons to do.
Okay.
But as far as reading materials, then whatever classroom you're in, or I think that's what they did last year. I don't remember, oh yeah, Henry, you don't need that, I'm thinking,
I was just thinking of left link.
there should be like a, I just did a plastic binding.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Going into 4th grade, the funnest of all.
Yay.
So you will see a couple different versions. If you're session A, anybody else going 4th grade? Sorry.
Oh, I can get back to this, I'll take that.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Actually, yeah. So lit camp, and then there's some test prep. That if you spend a little more time on test prep, I'm okay with that. There's some links, if you've done it before. Some of you are obviously teachers of ours who have helped in 3rd grade or taught 3rd grade. You know where there's some other resources. But basically, you're really just kind of helping them make sure it's not the format or structure of the test that's holding them back. And then also, obviously, working on their skills. And then math is also a scholar zone. Yep.
Could I take time out of the lit camp and do a little bit of foundations? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
We might have to talk about
If it's-
grouping them, because I don't have.
Yeah,
that
it-
Well,
kind
that's
of-
what we're gonna do.
if it's out of the lit camp time, I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah, 'cause-
for testing week, are you gonna plan to reach out to families?
Did he step out?
Yeah, he had a phone call.
Okay, Jeff usually reaches out to teachers to say who wants to come in and help test at the end of June, to try to do small groups of kids. So I think we'll do that again. I hope he does. We'll talk.
Is that something that will be separate rooms from Summer Academy? So like we'll need to expect.
They'll go to these small rooms usually, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, going into 5th grade. Remember who it is, sorry. Once we start getting back to other grade levels, did I skip one? No. It's pretty much lit camp and scholar zone. Okay. Which again, once you see the manuals, it kind of walks you through the structure and everything. And then going into 6th grade. Okay. Thanks. Okay. The only special note I want to make in general, what was I going to say about this math? So some of the grade levels we had to order replenishments, and it looks like based on I got a chance to look at 5th grade I think today. I think the lessons are all the same. The books might look different, so like it might have been red last year, and this year it's mostly white with a red corner. And if you remember from the past, if you've done math, there's those Dynamath magazines that come with some of the grade levels. I think now instead of separate magazines, they just put the articles within the workbook. And they're still in color, which is nice and all that. So it might be okay if you mix, but also you could go, oh, I have enough of the old workbooks, I'll just use those. Or I'll just use the new workbooks. Because like I said, based on first quick glance, it looks the same. But it was nice of them not to tell me that they updated them. Do I have to do second session maybe? Grab one just in case. Okay. And then, yeah. And then when we're done here, kind of like last year if you were here, I have all the materials set up out there on that bench. Especially first session, if you want to take the teacher guides with you, that stuff is pretty much going to stay there until summer school starts. Even if you don't teach your grade till second session, there might be enough copies that you could take something with you to start looking at. And again, don't let the math confuse you. The math it'll look like it's 1 year behind. That's on purpose. Okay. Any questions? Junior high school again, yours is easier. You're just the courseware, but obviously helping kids as needed and all that fun stuff. So, we good there? Taylor, we might be back to you.
Already? Oh my gosh, are you guys sick of me?
Oh, I didn't go over classroom supply list. Long story short, we'll make sure you have the basics that kids should need for any of the activities that are within the
And this year we kind of simplified the supply list, just so you guys know. It seemed like you guys had a lot of extra last year, or you guys were using like your own classroom stuff last year. So this year you guys are kind of just getting all the basics. Paper, pencils, coloring utensils, that kind of thing. So if you need anything specific, just let us know, but we did simplify it this year.
Definitely let us know if you need something, because we don't want you paying out of pocket for anything, so let us know. And we always can't guarantee it's maybe a really quick turnaround, but like if you know in the next week or so, like, oh, hey, I do need something specific, let us know and we'll try and get it for you.
The other thing too, I know I kind of stated it when we were going over your papers, but vacations. You guys, most of you guys already told Mark if you have a vacation. Typically it looked like if you picked session A, it's because you're going on a vacation session B, or vice versa. Some people are doing both sessions and need a vacation. And I have that marked on pretty much all of our documents everywhere. Like I said, we have 1 week that still needs taken if anybody can.
Somebody, I think, put the
Oh, just kidding.
Oh,
Let's see.
no, I just added a note that I would do July if something comes up. I just
Yeah, that's okay, I see it. Perfect. Okay, so we are looking for June 26th and June 27th. It's just 2 days.
But you might also have testing those days. So what I'm saying is if you have extra teachers coming in for testing,
Oh, yeah.
then
I think it just happened to overlap with somebody else's vacation.
Yeah.
Maggie Morris, she said. Maggie Morris might be an additional, she's a teacher.
I'll let you add that real quick. But if anybody else does not have your vacation recorded, make sure you do so. If you happen to get sick, though, during your session that you are working, make sure you notify us right away, because obviously we have to figure out your classroom. Or if you're combined with another teacher in your classroom and you are going to be okay, just let us know. Hey, don't stress, I am out sick, but my classroom is good to go today. Just so that way we record it on our documents. If you do happen to take a vacation that is not marked, it is your responsibility to find that sub. So we do have a list of subs who are willing and things like that. But definitely talk to your team beforehand. We're not qualified to run your actually I am now. I have a sub license, but I will not run your classroom for you. I don't think that would go very well. That won't go very well. I always forget I got that. Anyways, make sure you just contact us ASAP and work on finding your own sub. So, dress code?
Yeah, roll, keep it simple. Business casual for summer. Be comfortable. Yes, we're fortunate to have AC most days. I know last week there was a day I think that maybe we didn't, but dress comfortably. I always think back to college. We had the college classes where they were like, stand up, stretch your arms, bend up, like all that fun stuff to like just common sense. We don't want any issues there. Access to buildings. 8 o'clock, does 8 o'clock sound safe in the morning for everybody? I know the teachers who work here have fobs that probably work earlier than that, but it's 8 o'clock because we'll reach out to our doorkeeper to make sure that they're unlocked. Doorkeeper. There's somebody who has, in charge of the program.
Also remember, CLC gets here at 6:30.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so if the bus loop doors are locked, just go to the CLC doors. Our whole team will be here and let you in.
Bus loop doors, somewhere on one of the sheets it does talk about Safety City, or whatever we call it here. For kindergarten, they usually do a good job, Officer Jody and them, to tell those parents to go over to the kindergarten wing doors to try to keep them separate from our students. Jackson Taylor, which is, yes, Mr. Taylor's son, will be tech support again this summer. So he'll be here in the building every morning if you're having an issue. Laptops, we're working to get all the teachers. I think Sandy said we should be good on laptops for that. But Jackson will be here to help if not. Chromebooks, Sandy and Eric usually make sure, I think at the elementary, you just make sure there should be a cart of Chromebooks in your rooms anyways. At the junior, senior high, I know there's laptops in a couple rooms. The other rooms, Chromebooks will work just fine. It's a web-based program. But Sandy said she was already working with Eric to make sure that there's a tower or whatever and the other rooms being used.
did just remind me something about Safety Town, or whatever you guys call it here, though. Go over what Mark said, the 17th through the 21st of June is the Safety Town. And Section A does have 8 kindergartners signed up. Not a single one of those parents have notified us that they're also in Safety Town. So we're expecting them all to be here. But for some reason, if mom signed them up and dad forgot or something like that, and we don't see them there that week, that is why. We'll reach out to them and confirm and make sure that they're actually at Safety Patrol. But just for people running kindergarten classrooms, keep that in mind for that week. So no one has specifically reached out and said they would miss it, so.
Principal, sorry, I just noticed.
Oh.
Don't worry, you should have seen my email today.
And I love how it's different, 2 different spots.
Okay, any questions for me? Right, off the top of that.
You had us bring our computers.
I was told to tell you to bring computers, there might be a reason why. I don't
Okay,
know.
don't want to miss some
Sorry,
important thing.
they said they brought the computers just in case.
Oh, yes, that's Morgan's section, and she is last to go.
If anything comes up, just email me. I eventually will get to it. It's a bad time of night.
When will we be able to get our logins for courseware?
So, we're meeting with counselors next week to finish assigning students, and Pam and I will do so hopefully by like Wednesday of next week
Okay.
at the latest.
Okay,
But yeah, thank you for asking that.
thank you.
Before Morgan takes over and goes through all the paperwork kind of things, your other side of your folder has timesheets for you. So hold on to those, guys. It also has examples of how to fill out a timesheet, how to fill out an injury report, a discipline report, and a concern form. Concern form is like anything where you think there's something odd, a form of abuse, neglect, maybe it's like the same outfit all week, maybe it's just something odd the kiddo said. That's usually the case of a concern form. Any forms that you happen to fill out will go to Caitlin Kendall at the end of the day, so just make sure you turn those in. Fill it out to your best of your ability. I know you're not used to filling out CLC forms. If you need help, just ask Caitlin and she'll help you fill it out. You guys are also all going to be getting like baggies of Band-Aids and ice packs and those kind of things for your classroom if you need them. Hopefully with not going outside today, this year, it'll cut down on the boo-boo stuff.
Question for you.
Yeah.
So maybe this is your question. I don't know which one it goes to. But, so I noticed on that, we get 5 hours of pre-planning time.
Yes.
But you said on that thing, it cannot be submitted till June 3rd because that's our official date of hire. Do you want us to submit a timesheet just for this 1 hour for today? Or do you want to add that 1 hour like?
No, we're gonna do it differently than last year.
Okay.
Yep, so Morgan will confirm here, but we are going to, you guys all got a timesheet to fill out for today's orientation. And then when you guys do your actual prep time, you will add it to your first timesheet that you turn in to Caitlin Kendall when you start working. So just make sure that you record your 5 hours of prep on there. You will not put your 5 hours of prep on this paper one. You are only getting paid for coming here today. And then your 5 hours will be on the other one when you actually start. And I would just mark next to it that those are your prep hours. Because in that timesheet tracker I created, there's a separate one that you can't see. And it makes sure that you recorded your 1 hour for today and getting paid for it. And you recorded your 5 hours of prep and are getting paid for it. So I have a nice little tracking system to make sure you guys don't forget that. So, yeah. The last thing before Morgan takes over and talks about all of that is when she is done, just do not forget, if you guys were asked to bring your computers with you, that is in case Morgan needs you afterwards for paperwork, because that's what she's about to go over. And make sure that did everybody sign your name and contact information on the black clipboard?
No.
Okay, we'll get you that. There's timesheets inside of it, so make sure you fill that out. Everybody has a folder though? Okay, so just make sure you hit that. And then if you have any questions at the end, just come see one of us and print up your curriculum, or you can check out your curriculum when you're done here today. But the floor is yours, Morgan. Yeah.
In the past, we've had problems with CLC, like not cleaning up our rooms in the afternoons. So I don't know if you can.
Yeah, we'll be super strict about that. If anybody didn't hear that question, she said that in the afternoon, our CLC program assistants, bring the kids back into your classroom to do the STEM and SEL activities. This year we did switch it up a little bit. Some of the activities are all together in the gym. A lot of them are actually outside this year, now that the pavilion is done. But there is a couple that will be in the classroom. We will make sure to talk to the team that they are cleaning up that room afterwards, so that way, you know, it's ready for you guys to go the next day. And Caitlin will also do a double check through the room. But by all means, if you guys have any problems with our CLC staff coming into the room in the afternoon, just let me or Caitlin Kendall know, so that way we can handle it appropriately. Cool.
Okay, hi everyone, my name is Morgan. Everyone that's been emailing you like crazy nonstop the last couple of weeks, thank you for hanging 10 with me, I appreciate it. But first, I made a mistake. I need everyone to get this piece of paper back out of their folders. It came like this together. I'm looking for the one that does not have the highlighted part on it.
I should have marked what session.
Session A.
Section A. Over on the right, it says week 1 and 2 pay on May 28th. That needs to be June. You could cross that out and put June, because if I could pay you on May 28th, I would, and that would be really impressive. But I don't know anyone that moves that fast. Does everyone see what I'm talking about?
Yeah. You said change it to what?
June.
June 28th.
We got it? Awesome. Okay. The sheet that I passed out that just has this cute little grid in the top, this is the ESC pay schedule. This is the one that we follow. So for those time sheets and those dates, really important that those actually do get turned in, because that's how they get plugged into the ESC system. I forget who I was talking with before everyone got in here. Maybe you, yes. The ESC and how you are hired into Rossford, separate entities. So that's why some of you have to do a little bit more extra steps regarding ESC. Maybe an application, maybe fingerprints, completely separate in how we do it. So if you are working this summer, we are grateful and we love you for that. There are some things though that you might need to do for the ESC specifically. So that's why I have been emailing and bringing things in regarding those specific things. But this is important regarding pay schedule if you have any questions about that. I work in the office at all times closely with payroll and fiscal, so if you have any questions or discrepancies about your pay and you're not sure what's going on, you can email me and I will take your question right to them. Okay, awesome. We're going to look at the
Agenda.
Agenda, thank you. I'm losing words, it's really late in the afternoon.
I get it.
I know my name and where I live, and that's about it. Okay, we're gonna look at the agenda, the back page where it says ESC hiring, timesheet procedures, and pay schedule. Okay, there are some of you that have not completed the internal ESC application. And that is a problem. I need all of that done so I can pay you, especially for today. So yes, if you do a timesheet today, that's fantastic. However, until that application is done, we can't pay you for today. And I will tell you who those people are in just a second. So really important that I sent emails, I believe on the 16th of May. Search my name, it'll send you a link, takes you right to the link. Takes 10 minutes to do, but I gotta have that in, just so the Educational Service Center employees have all of their systems updated with everything that they need. Okay. Out of the people that haven't, and the reason that there's a 12 in parentheses is because at the time this was made, there were 12 people that I needed to do the application. So that's kind of where you can follow me on that. So after you do the application, schedule a new hire with me from the open time slots below. Those new hire blocks are in that third row. That is when our personnel secretary will be there to do your fingerprints if needed and to make sure that all of your paperwork is done. If everything is completed and turned in on time before June 3rd, before you start, your first check will be June 28th. If not, it will not be June 28th and will be pushed to the next pay period because nothing or some things might not have been done on time. They stick to that schedule, especially in the summer, because payroll and everything flips over. Our fiscal year ends June 30th. That's also important to remember, just talking about how tight and strict they are with timelines. Okay. We're gonna look at this sheet here. Okay. It was the only way that I knew how to do it when all of us were in the same room, so please do not think I am singling anyone out if your name is on this sheet. I am not. Just trying to make sure that I have all of your information organized and that I can present it in an effective way. So Becky, I believe, she's the one that's not here, right? Okay, just someone needs to remind her, give her this sheet. I'll give you an extra. You can have this one for her. She needs to get fingerprints.
Okay.
The list of people below need to complete the Talent Ed application. Talent Ed is the portal that the ESC uses. You'll complete this application, and then it will allow you to be in our systems in terms of having your payroll or your bank account information, tax information, all that good stuff. But I can't get that until you officially apply for this job. And I know it's backwards, and I know it's annoying. Yes, you already have it. I had to do it too, because I applied to work here through Indeed. It's totally backwards, but that is the ESC policy that you have to be applied through the internal application in order to proceed with everything. So that link was emailed on the 16th. If you need it again, please email me. The new hire orientation time blocks are listed below. Again, that is with the personnel secretary, making sure that she is ready, has the machine to do the fingerprints, any of the paperwork, the signatures. If you are coming to a new hire orientation, you need to bring your driver's license, your social security card, and
Avoided check, I think.
yes, thank you. Look at you, fantastic. Yes, a voided check and or your bank account information so we know how to pay you.
But we're not, do I pay for my fingerprints to be done at the ESC?
No.
No.
Nope. Number 4, the list of people below number 4 need to schedule a new hire orientation with me within the time blocks above. If you're scheduling a new hire orientation with me, you are out of that group of 12 people that I talked about being on the agenda. Those 12 people either have not worked with us before or were not in the system when we went digital, so we have to do it again. And I'm going to read who does not need to do anything, so that way we can end this on a good note and you know who you are. After I'm done. If everything is completed and turned in on time, then your first check will be on time, and that is June 28th. The first check is a paper check, so do not be looking on your bank app or your bank statement or however you do it to see that that was deposited. The first check is a paper check. You choose in the paperwork that you do after your application, that you get access to after your application is done, you choose if you want it mailed to you or if you pick it up at the ESC. And it's between those two options. That was number 7, and then number 8 is talking about paras. Do I have any paras in here? Hi.
Hi.
Hello. The qualifications for paras, I need a passing BCI/FBI. I need your ODE qualification license, and I need your high school diploma with either 56 qualified college credit hours, so a transcript showing me 56 qualified college credit hours, or a passing paraprofessional evaluation. And you still need to do the application, which I have emailed you, but if you email me those documents separately, if there's not a place to put that in the application, you email me those 3 things. Those 2 things, you do the fingerprints at the ESC. Awesome. Does that make sense? Before I read off who's good, are there any questions?
How do I get my BCI FBI? Like I've done some. How do I get a copy of?
If you haven't done through here, that's something that Mark and I are checking. I need to make sure that the code on the FBI BCI is the same as the one we take at the ESC. how people get fingerprinted and the code used determines what they're specifically checking for. So if where I'm working, is her name Pam?
Lisa.
Lisa. Okay, great. I don't know where I got.
I've always
She's the
had to-
assistant principal.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So yes, if you haven't been fingerprinted here and the code matches and they're not expired, I can take them.
Okay, so they're gonna take care of that part?
I'm,
We're gonna check.
We're checking it, and then I'm coming to you being like, hey, I need you to get re-fingerprinted, and then you would schedule that with me in those timelines.
Price is just saying though that.
So it used to be that we had to get fingerprinted every year. So even though I worked for Rossford Schools, I still had to get in fingerprinted through the county every year. And I believe last year they changed it to every other year. So like yesterday I went to the county to get fingerprinted for summer school, but obviously there's no cost associated with it. Because for Rossford Schools it was like 5 years, but I think the county went to, it was 1 year, but now it's 2 years. But even though I have them on file for Rossford,
It sounds like we don't have the codes that match up for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So.
Which we're gonna.
so I'm fingerprinted a whole lot out there.
I will triple check on the codes just to make sure that everything is kosher with those specifically, and then that's me contacting you via email, hey, I need you to come in. And that's something you schedule with me. I'm gonna read off the list of names of people who do not need anything and are good to go. Margot. Martha Selman. Where's Martha Selman? Peter.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. Now,
I am sorry that you have to work with him.
thank you. Thank you. It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. Robert, you're good to go. Don't need anything. Kyle, good to go. Don't need anything. Megan Alexander, solid. Good to go. Sydney Miller,
She's not here.
perfect. Emma Ulrich, good to go. Kennedy Durko, hi, good to go. You have beautiful hair.
Thank you.
Brenda Pennington, good to go. Christine Price, solid, good to go. Jen Mundo,
I'd love for her to say.
I'm on the good,
good to go, solid.
Go on, you take that in.
Ann Stevens, good to go. Pam Sobecki, did I say that right? Oh my God, points for Morgan. You're good to go, thank you. Kristen Vargo,
She left early.
she left, she's good to go. And those are my people who are good to go. So if you did not hear your name, and if you have time, come talk to me at the end and we can discuss why